You know what? Like, this is all weird, but this is weird too, right? I even had someone who I talked to for like 10 years who was calling me Neo because they were like, I don't know what you guys think, but some people think I'm Jesus, and that person called me Neo. Um, some people think I'm something they can't say the name of. That's like, there's the person who says I'm Neo, and then the other people are like, you're. And or some people are just real excited. Like if I go to church, they act like they know me or something. Um, but my family is the Smiths. Half of my family, and the people in my family who like threw everything of mine away when I was a kid, and they like did normal parent things, like took me to school so they could drug me and stuff like that. Didn't were Agent Smiths drugging Neo in that movie? I'm telling you that like these things on TV are like my life sometimes. Neo Matrix 4 is literally the video I uploaded and stuff, and then what I was doing in the theater. And so like I'm gonna assume the Smiths drugged Neo in that film because the Smiths work with the system, and that's how they did the drugging and stuff. And so like the Agent Smiths that Neo fights, like that is my family name. That's my other name. You know, everyone has two last names. That's my other last name. And the couple people on those side were the were the people a couple of those people on those sides. Like one of the people on those sides was like, I mean, they're like typical Republican, but they were like against the drugging and stuff. They were like, though my dad and that person were the only two people who said anything about that when I was a kid. And then the Dare police ban, the drug abuse resistance. But they were talking about that. They came to the school that was drugging me to claim they were against drugs while they sold me drugs. Um, so yeah, ain't that weird? Like seriously, a lot of this shit is this. I wouldn't say it all is, but like a lot of this shit is like this stuff, and it makes no fucking sense. And like a lot of it's like AI slop type shit. That's why like they make it so it takes till 2020 for me to see that stuff. So it's like you know, it's hidden in that shit. It's not like I go around and I'm like, oh, my fucking family or the devils were fighting them to escape the Matrix and shit. But at the same time, it's kind of hard for me not to say that because all the men I've met, and I'm not talking about my family even right now, but I think like every white man forced into my life was probably pro-war. Maybe that one German dude was not pro-war against the Middle East. I don't know. We didn't talk about it. He liked I think he liked war and stuff in general, but he was the only one who didn't mention something about, hey, we got to go kill the Muslims, we got to go kill the Arabs and take their land. Everyone else does says that at least once. Like this dude I met, who was one of them, obviously. Like this is like the first thing out of his mouth. Like the first day I met him and stuff. And it's like, why are we talking about this, dude? Like, you're selling me drugs. We're talking about heavy metal. And like, what the hell are we talking about? Soldier cop shit for, bro? Like, you're selling me drugs. What do you do? Let's stop talking about the government. And I'm trying to stop talking about that shit. And fucking. But it made a point to do that, you know, with the people in my life and stuff. People who cause me problems, a lot of it feels like a bigger memorable problem that like wrecked my life. They would generally like identify themselves politically in one way, nationally, racially, something like that. um, it's all the same thing there, ain't it? Racial, religion, politics, nationalism. But isn't that interesting that This is like literally what they've been writing. I didn't even watch The Matrix for years. You know, it's not like I'm obsessed with it. But you know what that is? That's also the Bible. Because it's all the same story being retold. There's only like 7 stories in your fantasy stories of kings and conquering and religion are like all the same thing, just like an AI is regenerating it or something. Um, in the Bible, Jesus is like not. It doesn't mention anything about his family, but supposedly he's like the only person who said anything about those people, and he was supposedly one of them. You know, Jesus was a rabbi, so and he talked about the rabbis, and rabbis don't do that shit, you know. So it's like it's pretty much the same thing as if Neo was born. His parents were Agent Smiths, except for the Matrix story didn't write that into it, that Neo was born to the Agent Smiths and stuff. But it does say he's a creation of the architect, and the Smiths are the creation of the architect too. So in that way, it does say they are the same family because they are the same video game. They are characters in the same video game. So, they are the same beings of light. So isn't that interesting there? Oh my God. And right now, like the system has me tied to them. Like, the people who claim they're not involved in anything or part of anything, except for during 2020 when everyone said we're all in this together. The people who are uh, who weren't all in it together and then decided to be all in it together and now aren't all in it together are helping the Agent Smiths stay chained. Like it's really hard because I'd rather go jump in a. I literally do try to kill myself to break this chain. Like constantly all day long. Like I'm in pain all the fucking time. And shit, that's why I don't care. That's why I make videos where I'm like just slicing myself open and painting the walls of blood because of this. Because of this chain. And I told Agent Smith, every time you fuck with me, I'm going to kill and poison myself more because I'm tired of you and your system chaining you to me and you treating me like I'm a piece of dog shit and destroying my entire life when I was fucking, whenever I allowed, when I was forced in that situation when I was a baby. Um, so, like, literally, this is what's happening here. Agent Smith here works with their system and has chained me down, and I'm like trying to, like, as Neo, apparently I can't do shit about it because it's not reality. None of these AI hogwash stories are fucking really reality, but they're real fucking close to some shit that's happening. Um, and so like I'm like I'm like Neo fighting myself to try to escape the fucking Agent Smiths and shit. Um, if I killed them, it wouldn't break the chains. Like the chain actually it can get stronger if they die. Yeah, they think they're smart. Whatever's designing them thinks it's smart or something. I don't think they could come up with something that complex. But it's not that complex. It's a thought, and it's like, well, that's probably one thought they'll never, two over the amount of thoughts they'll have. So yeah, like I'm literally like tied to that right now and trying to kill myself all day long to escape it and shit. Isn't that weird? You got the girl who I don't even know if she exists who talked to me for 10 years, fucking probably did, though, because some of these people come meet me and stuff. Some of these people appear fucking when I look outside. So, that's like actually fucking happening here and shit. Like, That movie is like pretty accurate. Don't have any dinosaurs, so it's real fake on the level of abilities you have and shit. But I can tap my finger better than other humans and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. I can tap my finger faster than you. I'm so powerful. Oh, yeah. I'm Superman, bro. I'm Neo. Jesus. Um, unless I send one of those people into my life who like game programs to do whatever, and then they're like, it's not about how fast you can tap it. It's a matter of style. So everyone can tap their finger, but you gotta express yourself with it, and it's not a contest to see who's the fastest finger tapper. You know, like, which is weird because that's how they make all their money. Is literally they have a book called Guinness where someone who taps their finger faster than other people gets a pot of gold and a jug of whiskey and or whatever. And you know, it's called Hollywood sometimes if you tap things, make sounds with it, or the Olympics. You know, but it's not about being an Olympic person. It's about you know, that's what you tell disabled people in wheelchairs. You know, you're still a winner. You just can't compete. You can't break any records or anything like that. Anyways. So yeah, that's the Smith thing. That's like when I was a kid, like they would. I don't really like talking about it. I've already have. Let's just say I worked and I didn't spend my money on things I wanted. So like I worked for other people, job carrying heavy weight, probably likely why my back's broken. I can't do the things, my dreams in life. But my other dreams probably broken to this, like literally I had to run away from that house when I was 15 to begin to just escape, to be able to go outside and fucking stare at the sky and shit, fucking, because that's all I was trying to do by that point in life. But yeah, like it wasn't like super horrible. You know, people weren't stabbing and raping me after the first Agent Smith Christian ritual where they rape and mutilate newborn males. That I know of. I don't have memories of certain times. I don't think that would bother me too much compared to my entire life being wrecked and shit. Anyways, having has someone forcing themselves to have sex with you is absolutely nothing compared to your entire fucking life being stripped from you and everything you fucking ever look for. You have an agent appearing to get in the fucking way of every fucking thing every time you get a fucking chance to do it. The one thing never appeared, and you can tell it's all fake because it could have generated it because it started generating it. But the other things, the agents were in the way and shit. And so it became a battle against Agent Smith. That's like literally the first 15 years of my life. That's a parable there to my life and shit. And I got to escape, like, fucking, if the people weren't dead, they'd back this up and shit, because they escaped too, fucking. That's how I got to escape, because that person had already escaped, so there's a different place I could go to. But I'm assuming that's exactly why that is. Like, I'm chained to that person right now. Like, I don't know where they are. They won't talk to me. I mean, you know, it's not like I'm begging for someone. It's quite the opposite. It's that they're playing this, well, you've got to come beg me for attention because I really, really, really want your attention and I'm obsessed with you type shit. Like, What do you guys call it? You guys been educating me on this stuff. You guys fucking literally forced me to take classes on this shit with narcissists. The fucking, it's a fucking real simple thing. It's a real thing that exists, and they explain. You watch one of those videos, you could figure out how someone, I forget the exact word, right? Oops, I forgot something. I'm stupid. But there's a word for people who try to force you to talk to them by not talking to them, and they're using things, manipulation to try to make that happen because they want you to beg for their attention, but it's them who wants the attention and shit. And they, they use something. They have a chain. They have a government chain. They're friends in the system. The Smiths, friends in the system of my life, have developed this chain, and it takes like it's just like the other things where it like shows something that it forces me to remember. This is something that's like it's forced me to remember, and not they fuck it up. They make it worse as if we're not already paying attention that this isn't supposed to happen this way and stuff. And the Smiths the Agent Smiths are also the people who, when it was set up for that dude to kill himself trying to kill me, which I think I killed him by thinking it's time for him to die. Because those things I think happen a lot. You don't want to hear about it. People you like I've seen some stars on TV die who I know a lot of fucking people like, and I'm getting the idea. It's because I was like, well, their time's over. Yeah, that's a bad CD. And then it's like, well, there's no more CDs from that and shit. It's literally, boy, no real reason to fucking care. No reason to take any of this serious. Except for it feels serious, when you get your head bashed open by them when they're trying to kill you. You hit a wall. They drug you, and it fucking destroys your fucking psyche and shit, and it makes you twitch or whatever. Those are the only real reasons to care about anything. Is when they do that shit. There needs to be a permanent end to people like that being able to do stuff like that, and everyone should be notified and aware so such things don't ever occur in the world again. People be watched to make sure the same people don't ever come back into power on this planet ever again. Any of their minions ostracized, identified. That's why they're so fucking scared of that shit. That's why they're like, burn the documents. He's got a picture of us. Burn it. He's telling people we all look the same. We all look like Agent Smith. We all look like Elon Musk. We've got to put an end to it, Neo. Anyway, so this is like really my life. You know that? When I posted those videos saying if I'm God, everyone's going to kill everyone. And then 2 days later, what happens? Well, Palestine is literally wins. You've never even seen a city leveled like that, have you? Fucking never even seen that. It's just AI-generated visuals. No real need to care, though, right? Just like me being beat and drugged all the time, and enslaved by the system. There's no need to care, is there? There just simply isn't. I've been, the best thing you can do is learn from the humans. Nothing matters. None of them. Of course, their other program is they're great in every little drop of their blood matters. But I guess it, depends on whether they're freshly smoking a crack rock or they're coming down off their crack rocks. You never know with these fucking Santa Claus retards. Fucking, shit, you notice that Trump's using all the language I use now that I don't care. Say the whole thing. Not the whole thing, but like, they're creating the illusion. They're creating the illusion that it's happening that way. And you better be real fucking careful about what they're going to do with that illusion and shit, because the point is to understand that the ability for the agents to create that illusion is there, not to fall for the trap that you are the illusion, because that is the agent's trap, that you are a person, a unique thing, and they're nobody. They're just 300-pound fucking cheeseburger walruses who do nothing and don't know anything. I didn't know that. I wasn't involved with that. Why are you blaming me for that? I had no idea that I was going to do all that. I had no idea. I called the cops and said, uh-oh, you let my son out of jail and you weren't supposed to. God unlocked the doors to the jail and my son walked out because he was fucking innocent. And God said, get the fuck out of there. But Miss Satan Smith is calling up to let you know. Yeah. Do you think I'm making up shit? I don't have to make up shit. It's one story and it's going to be the same story until it's fucking done. And we make sure these things and these people never populate this planet and control it again. Whatever. They're not people. I'm telling you that. I altered their fucking heads in 2020. I'm creating new ones occasionally, which means by 7 degrees of separation, every time I create a new one, I'm creating 10,000, which means the planet's pretty fucking empty and shit, and there's a lot of blank spots out there. Earth is a giant space floating around in space. It's not a giant rock, it's space floating in space, but hey, let's go with what happened, right? You get drugged by them when you're little. They start forcing you on meth. They put you on amphetamines. That's what you do to children, ain't it? And then they just fucking force you to work, take the money from you, slavery as a child. And then throw away your shit when you do steal some, or your parent or the family who's not Smiths fucking give you something. Because the other ones didn't do that. The other ones actually worked with Epstein, but they didn't ever do shit to me. Fucking, they were like the complete opposite. But these other people, like, I won like a basketball tournament, and they threw the fucking trophy away. Okay, like I'm being passed up 5 grades, and they work with the school to pass me back down 4 grades. And it's like I should have been out of college by the time I was 12. But because of my family, I wasn't. Because of my family, I was held back many grades. Dismissed. Again, I don't think they're family because I changed their minds and I got the summoning and I assume they're bots who don't actually exist. So they're using, this is what the agents in the Matrix do, is say I'm your family and shit. And I'm telling you, they own the hospitals, so they're probably kidnapping babies. That's probably what goes on in their bot brain that they think they're doing. I'm not sure the exact details here, but I'm telling you what actually happens and what they're doing. Chained to them right now. My house is covered in blood because of them. Fucking, I'm covered in scars. I've lost a lot of blood. My heart hurts all the time because of them. My fucking organs hurt all the time because of them. But you know what? I'm making it up. I'm not doing all this stuff that I post videos of and then it happens. And their name ain't Smith. I'm just lying. My name's actually Bill Jababaloo. Yep, that's correct. It's Bill Jalabalo. And of course, I'm going to talk to someone one day. I'm going to find people to help me free me from this system. And so far, everyone I found looks exactly like the people I fucking despise and despise me long before I fucking understood. So, yeah, they played a softer game before, but it, forcing 6-year-olds to take math fucking isn't like a game, is it? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, humans are pretty fucking disgusting for allowing this shit to happen. That's what makes 9/11 so funny, and COVID so funny, and Russia so funny, and and at this point, that's what makes Palestine so funny, because I don't know those people. They had a cross, they had a church, and you see the Smiths when they hit the church. They only hit the tip of it. They didn't actually destroy it because it's their church. They're just telling you they're not. The humans are, they're never involved in anything except for in 2020 when I snapped my finger and I said, "Son, show me what's going on," and they were like, "We're all in it together." Fucking so, and it's like, well, I knew that, but I needed the statement of admission to continue with the plans. So, I had already known this. Like, I literally spent 40 years just sitting around like, oh, this sucks. We got to kill ourselves to escape this. There's absolutely no reason to be here. And it turned out to be Jesus is born to Agent Smiths. And it's all the same thing. So who owns everything? I mean, technically, the other half of my family owned a lot more than them, but who wants to own everything? Like, the other half of my family worked and didn't go around bossing people around and stealing all their shit to try to keep them below them. They went and worked for the Smiths, and like Jeffrey Epstein, the powerful ones and shit. The Smiths are just agents. They're not architects. And my dad went and worked for the architect, so he was out of my hair all the time. Fuck it. But not to let him off the hook, because he had that little laugh, that evil fucking laugh and shit. That's some weird shit when your parents have an evil fucking laugh and shit when they talk to you. Like there's something fucking real funny going on that you ain't allowed to know about. And lo and behold, I associate that laugh because it comes out of the Smith type people, out of the architect people and shit. I used to write that off, like he talks like an architect, because he told me about his friends. He always told me about his friends. I do that shit too. My friends did this and that. Yeah. Not always who anyone else with me when my friends do something. But he had several things. He had like mob talk and shit, and it was his friends who taught him that up there in murder capital of the world where he comes from and shit. His friends taught him how to speak in murder lingo. And to me, it's just like, okay, well, it's like, I got friends too, bro. Like, makes sense. They speak in the architect too. Fucking, but yeah, my family, the other side of my family, I can't say like I shit about like a lot of them, but like you're only forced around like 3-4 people. I think most people are when they're young. You have 2 people in the house, maybe add a brother and a sister and shit. So, that's like, as soon as I could, I escaped from that. And then there was this period where things were changing, and I was being like educated on all this shit. Fucking, and things didn't go too bad during that time. Maybe not at all, but I don't know what they've been up to. You know what I'm saying? Like, people got weird when I started leaving the house. Like, my friend got all weird when I started trying to work and do things and leave the house. Like, and it makes me wonder, like, well, that's kind of like the purpose of setting someone back 5 years in school is to keep them still, prevent them from moving. That would be the purpose of selling people broken guitars, is to drain them of their life and money so they can't do anything. That would be the purpose of being targeted by other broken shit too. That's the purpose of trying to kill someone, is to prevent them from moving forward. That's the purpose of drugging someone, is to try to fry their brain. That's why they do that. So people will sit there comatose and not do anything and shit. That they're not giving you drugs to help you. It's a terror syndicate that's colonized the earth. And just because they say it's health, it's like Steve Burley says, it's not for your health when the Christians invade your nation and kill everyone. It's for their health. It's for the doctors are driving Lexuses and they got fucking mortgage payments. That's not your health being paid for when you go there. You're going somewhere to give someone your money. And then their system of terror is the drugs. The Iron Maiden, they just smash your head open with a vice to relieve pressure on your brain. They drill holes in your brain. They electrocute people. And so they figured, like, people get tired. Every 10 years, people have to tell, instead of just telling these people, no, get out of my nation, they say, stop doing it. I think they do tell them to get out of their nation. That's what they say, but they seem to control everything. Supposedly they've been kicked out of pretty much every nation on the planet. That's their story. But the truth is, they are these fucking terrorist empires. They aren't not them. So they are them. They're lying. That's what they do. They seem, some of them, the ones involved sometimes seem real dumb, but that doesn't mean they're not really network computer bots. I'm pretty sure that's how they get anything done, because it's just like, at least one in specific I can think of, it's like, I don't think it gave you the knowledge to learn how to put a fork in your mouth without killing yourself with that dangerous weapon. It must be computer controlled. But then it's somehow tied in a long chain of shapeshifters and people who teleport and appear out of nowhere, and they work with them. But they don't get it. They don't leave the TV. They sit there drooling on themselves, looking at the TV all day. And fucking, but all of a sudden, they're part of a huge fucking terrorist network and shit that would require, if they were living beings, it would require a brain, a real good brain to operate this global fucking terror network. It's fucking centuries old global terror network and shit. Fucking. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, I got the video. I've been telling you, you've seen it. You've seen my other videos where I say shit like, if this is going to happen, that's going to happen. And you can probably see, like, random people appearing in music and movies being invented in books. Fucking, when I say other dumb shit I don't even pay attention to and mean absolutely nothing, that happens sometimes. I know that happens sometimes. Fucking, but yeah, that's why they call them the Agent Smiths and shit, because in this system, they did shit like that when I was around them, and they also look like those people too. Although the architects also have the Rothschild thing. I don't know. I don't know if the original one was real Rothschild looking. The old one who had a husband she sent to die to kill the people who were against them, supposedly. That one looks super Rothschild and shit. Like, I remember seeing that when I was a kid. They're like, I used to be a model, and I'm like, ew, it's disgusting. I didn't say that to her, but I'm like, you used to be a model. And I didn't know nothing about no Rothschild shit back then. So I wasn't like, hey, you look like a fucking Rothschild. I would have like, probably got stabbed or something or beaten, definitely beaten if I knew if they really were Rothschild and I spoke those words when I was 2 years old, they would hit me for much less. So those people kill you if you point out who they are. I think that's the point of the story here. Why they've been trying to kill me. I assume that's why they started drugging me when I was 6. The Smiths probably started drugging me when I was 6 because I was the only person on the planet going around like, there's this place is a bunch of terrorists and murderers, fucking genociding and enslaving the planet. And then the drugging starts. It turns out to be, as much as some of them, the females always like act like they're not for that shit. Like I said, I've never met a male who wasn't. And the females just are better liars. Like their skill set is more based upon lies and manipulation. Like they act like they're background noise victims who've never done anything on the planet. And it turns out to be they're generally in control of the men who are doing all the terrorizing and killing. Like I'm sure Rothschild had something to do with Grandpa dying. Like Rothschild probably didn't give two shits that her husband died and shit. It was a war for them to profit. I don't think she would have. She wouldn't have got her house. I bet if that's where the housing bust came from in the '60s. Was America just looted Germany, so they were being paid to they just killed those people to protect the bankers. And so the bankers are like, here, have 10 cents. Your family's dead now. Thanks for dying for us. We'll give you a house and then we'll invent some tax laws that take it from you in 20 years. Shit, the agents didn't even get mad when so when they sent the Rothschild to kill me, it took the agent's money to pay for that. And Agent Smith didn't get upset that Brother Rothschild took their house from them, which is really weird because generally, like they would blame me for if whatever the weather is outside right now. I haven't talked to this person hasn't talked to me in like a year or something, but they're probably like sitting around being like, Sean, why is Sean making it so cold out and stuff? I don't like it. I'm hungry. Why is Sean making me hungry? It was like that type of person and shit. And so it's really weird when Rothschild took Agent Smith's money that Agent Smith didn't get all mad about that shit. It was like a weird blip in the system. But like I said, Agent Smith got mad when God let me out of the jail. But Agent Smith called up Rothschild. And it was like, yeah, oh my God, this criminal. You let him in my house. Yeah, my son got out of jail and he's not supposed to be. So yeah, that's the Agent Smiths. We got more stories. I don't want to remember them. I'm trying to kill myself to erase the memories of them. That's like the majority of my life. That's like all that's in my head is this fucking Agent Smith shit. And like the rest of it is like trying to run. Like I don't feel safe unless I'm in a moving vehicle going above 30 miles per hour and I never stop. Thinking about stopping at a gas station or anything like that, it just, I begin to, I'll think the whole time I'm driving. Like I know I'm like somewhat safe in the car, but the whole time I'm driving, I'm not like safe because I'm thinking like what's gonna like as soon as I have to stop at a gas station, one of them is gonna appear and You know, so it's like they occupy my head because they force themselves to occupy my fucking life and work towards fucking destroying it too. Like I mean, the rapist shit alone is like enough. Like the fact you have to occupy my entire fucking life 24/7. You know, that's bad enough, but there's there people don't barge their way into your fucking life. Apparently, people don't have kids for any reason except to fucking enslave them, unless they're on their side. And on the agent's side, I notice they treat the agents better, the other agents better. And they got an excuse for that too, in their fake made up history and fake made up old drunkman philosophy shit. They've got an excuse for why they would do that. They supposedly do that to all the second-borns. But there is no second-born because there is no such thing as birth, is there? Huh. Interesting. There is no old drunk philosophers from thousands of years ago because there is no thousands of years ago. So how did they invent a phrase about children who weren't being born in a planet in a universe that didn't exist? See, it all comes together now, and it all comes from Agent Smith.